Let's talk about Disney, because they're not doing well. Yet another poll has come out talking about how consumer approval is not good for them. They have not been having a good week. Their stock took a little bit of a dive not that long ago, sometime yesterday or 2 days ago. But that's not what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about one of the things they're looking at to save their problems, and that's anime. Like most Hollywood outlets, they don't like anime. They don't respect it. But I'll tell you what they do like is money. So a lot of these Hollywood places have been going and trying to either take properties and turn them into something, kind of like Netflix, like with what they did to One Piece, or maybe they want to just distribute it and have control over the rights for a region, which is what Disney Plus Star is. It seems like it's a Crunchyroll for other countries. So over here in North America, Crunchyroll has the rights, formerly Funimation, has the rights to like Dragon Ball and other shows, and they get to distribute that over here. But they're also getting involved in the production over in Japan, which I have covered before. And Disney is trying to do the same thing. So they smell money and where the wind is blowing, and they've been trying to get more into anime. I didn't even know they had a streaming hub for anime only in other markets, but they do have it. Disney Plus Star, and they are making a push, a big push. In fact, it says here that they've outpaced some of their more established rivals in acquiring an impressive and popular catalog, including Bleach, Ranger Reject, localized as Go-Go Loser Ranger, which I hear is actually pretty good. And Sandland the series and the entirety of the Macross catalog. So I think I'm pretty sure Bleach is on Disney Plus here. And some people, I haven't watched Bleach, but I've heard that there's some issues with it. And that's probably because I think some of these Western companies got involved in it. I can't confirm that, but I've heard that there's some censorship issues with Bleach. I can't confirm that, but I swear I've heard that from somebody. But either way, you've got Disney recognizing that this is a thing, and they want to be more involved in it, which is a bad thing for anime fans. You don't want this company involved. I am not a fan of how big anime has gotten. I liked it better when it was niche. I liked it better when it was a niche thing. Now it's for everybody, which brings in the kind of problems that you think are coming. And you've got this guy outright admitting it. So Disney Plus Japan executive admits anime industry making a shift towards more acceptable expressions in order to appeal to wider audiences. Where have we heard that before? Oh, you need to appeal to everybody. It's got to appeal to everybody. It's got to be more diverse. That's basically what he's saying here. Can't have those sexist messagings in it. Make that skirt just a little bit longer. Shrink that chest just a little bit more. This is where all this comes in. And finally given confirmation to the bitter truth that many fans of the medium already know, Disney Plus Japan boss, Takuto Yawada has admitted that the wider anime industry is actively attempting to change its core identity in an attempt to make the medium more appealing to global audiences, particularly those located in the Western world. And that's because they want to make that money over here, because there's more money coming in from outside of Japan now when it comes to anime and manga than the money they're making inside the country. So a lot of these companies are starting to adapt the way they do things to try to get that money from the West. And that's the problem. One of the reasons that made it popular were the things that it already had. Like, you're going to end up making it just like more Western trash, which is going to turn people off to it. This is a losing move. And I wish some of these people over in Japan that make these decisions would recognize that a little bit more and maybe be a little bit more careful about the way they're doing this. Changing the medium is a mistake. And it's going to end up hurting this form of entertainment. We have a lot of good stuff right now. In fact, I think we're kind of it's even, the guy even says it in here, in kind of a golden age of anime. But it is slowly starting to change. And eventually, I think with the problems we have in the entertainment over here, we're going to have a lot of that shit in the Japanese stuff. Especially when you have companies like Disney slithering their way in. It's only a matter of time. I wouldn't trust Disney if I were any of these companies. Wouldn't. They're a rival, to be honest. They always kind of have been. So, you know, it's unfortunate. So so he was giving some kind of an interview with Japanese news outlet Mantanweb. I don't know what this outlet is, but this is where he was giving the interview. And here's what he had to say. There is no doubt that we have undergone very significant changes over the past 10 years. Now Japanese animation is entering a golden age, which is what I was just saying. What has changed compared to 10 years ago is that we used to think of the business as a set of videograms and TV broadcasts. And what we used to make works for people who could buy videograms, he explained. We were making films for people who could buy videograms. Videograms are still around today, of course. But streaming distribution has become more common, and the target audience is no longer limited to the domestic market. The rise of streaming is why it has spread globally. That's not true. That's not true. It's spread globally because of people telling people about it and things getting popular, like Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, One Piece. These have broad appeal, and that is kind of what draws people into other things. And then, of course, there's people who don't watch any of that shit, and they have friends that are into it, and they introduce them to more hardcore stuff. But streaming, anime was popular well before streaming got as big as it was. Sorry. But it's true. Those franchises are what got people into it. Those are gateway anime, and they definitely helped turn this into a mainstream thing. And then, of course, it's just people finding this because they're looking for alternatives. I don't really think streaming had much to do with it. I think it helped, but it's people finding these great franchises and then discovering anime as a thing that moved them into it. And then now, of course, it's so popular that people just find out about shit through their friends. But, you know, it is what it is. Anyway, he continues, a few years ago, the North American market was growing, so we focused on storytelling that would be well received in North America. In Asia, a different genre was being received, and we as creators were conscious of the fact that we had to focus on domestic, North American, and Asian markets. Now, however, the same fun and excitement can be experienced at the same time in any region, he added. This is how common Japanese animation has become around the world. What we thought was for the Japanese market is now accepted in all regions. I believe that the market has matured to that extent. Then he goes on to say, in order to be seen by many people, expressions that do not hurt or mislead people should be taken for granted, he continued. This is not a negative thing, but perhaps an evolution. When videograms were the focus, there was a tendency for only those who wanted to buy them to do so, but our awareness is changing because we are now distributing to a larger market through a service that can be viewed at any time by adults and children alike. Uh-oh. Got to think of the children. However, despite the industry's growing focus on Western audiences, he attempted to assure the outlet that when it came to which works to distribute on Disney Plus Star, his main concern was that the given anime provide viewers with a worthwhile story. That's pretty much it. But as Disney Plus Star gets bigger, you know, you want to put your shit on Disney Plus Star, well, then you're going to have to change this, edit that, censor this, because right now they're pursuing people. But as it gets bigger, they'll pursue Disney Plus Star, and that's when it becomes a problem. Right now, they're just trying to grow it, but when it's already established, then you can tell people to do something. And what we've learned from streaming too, by the way, we've seen plenty of it. They will go in and censor shit. Disney Plus has already done that with a couple of their stuff. I forget the name of it, but it's a Tom Hanks movie. I think he's with a mermaid or something. He's with some woman on a beach, and there's a scene where she runs into the water, and you can see her ass. Disney digitally extended her hair to cover her ass. And if you think that's only going to be restricted to the Western shit, you're crazy. Look for them to start censoring stuff for Japan to American audiences, too. I think it's awful that they're pushing to get anime onto their stuff. Like, if I want anybody out of any studio to stay out of Japan, it's Disney. But, it's funny. He's sitting here admitting what we've been talking about forever, that, they're starting to make anime for everybody, which will make it generic and mainstream and not the niche. Well, it's not niche anymore, but the little, side of culture it was. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comments. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my locals.